Steps with FlexibleWarrior.com, and today we're going to cover part 2 of basic principles and how you can apply yoga to your sports, whether you're baseball, football, basketball, soccer, lacrosse, a runner, a triathlete, whatever it is that your sport is. You can apply basic principles of yoga to your sport. Okay, we're going to practice actually poses with the 5 different principles today. So we're going to start in easy seated pose to set an intention. If you're really tight in your hips, sit up on some pillows or a block or something like that so you feel a little bit more open and aligned. Feel free to lie down on your back if your hips are really kind of restricting you so much that it distracts your mind. Okay? Otherwise, sit up really tall, align your spine, and let the backs of your hands rest onto your knees, bringing your thumb and your index finger together to touch. It's called Jnana Mudra. It's a pose for your hands, helps reinforce creating a connection and kind of quieting and centering the mind. So rest the backs of the hands onto your knees. Close your eyes. Make sure you're stepping away from your computer. Just sit down on the floor, make some space for yourself. Close your eyes, and I want you to just deepen your breath and start to think of a word that reinforces how you want to feel. So this is going to be setting your intention for your practice for the next 10 minutes, okay, your yoga practice, that is. So with your eyes closed, just start to bring to mind a word that reinforces how you want to feel on your yoga mat right now, or on the floor, wherever you're sitting, and in your practice, in your game day, in your race day. How do you want to feel? Choose 1 word, 2 words, 3 words, or a short little mantra. All right, just take a moment to do that. All right, you got your word? Secondly, we're going to practice breathing a little bit. And again, like I said in part 1, think of survival of the calmest. So you know you're already fit, strong, and really able to achieve so much with your body. Now let's really focus on your mind and your breathing, okay? So the breath is going to come in through the nose, wide through the ribs, full into the belly, okay? And I want you to take a full diaphragmatic breath so that you really feel the top of the inhalation and the bottom of the exhalation, okay? Keep that Jnana Mudra, the thumb and the index finger together to touch. Close your eyes if you're comfortable doing that. Really stay aligned with your posture and just very deeply breathe in and out through your nose. Remember the intention that you set, step 1, and now we're working on part 2, breathing nice and deep. Remember that any of the poses that we do should never restrict your breathing. Okay, from here we're going to practice breathing. We're going to practice a few poses. So if you can just swing your legs out and around, come into child's pose. So you're just going to let your hips settle back into your heels. If you don't have a yoga mat, don't let that be an excuse for you not to practice, okay? Just remember that it's best to be on a non-sticky surface. Hips are going to sit back onto the heels, forehead drops to the floor, hands walk forward. Deep breaths in and out through your nose. Practicing the breath. Shift forward, curl your toes, lift your tailbone, downward facing dog. So remember, if your hamstrings are really tight, I'm going to have you bend your knees so that you can lift your tailbone up even higher. Push through your palms, close your eyes, and continue to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. As your hamstrings start to open, you can start to straighten your legs a little bit more, but you don't want to round the spine. You want to keep the spine extended and straight. Let's take 2 more very deep breath cycles. In through the nose and out through the nose. You should kind of hear the sound of the ocean as you breathe in and out through the nose. Okay, release the knees back to the mat. And settle the hips back onto the heels, back into child's pose. We're going to practice that 1 more time. So just drop the forehead down to the mat. Let the hips settle back onto the heels. Hands walk out in front of you. Forehead relaxes to the floor. Shift your weight forward on an inhale. Curl your toes, lift your tailbone on an exhale. Downward dog for 5 breath cycles. Really try to focus on long, slow, smooth
Even breath cycles, in and out through the nose. As your legs start to open up and the hamstrings feel a little bit more relaxed and open, you can straighten your legs and really drop and sink through your heels. 2 more breaths, in and out through the nose. You can close your eyes or softly focus them on a spot. Let's release the knees. Good. So the next thing we're going to talk about is alignment. And as I said in part 1, it's alignment with your thoughts as well as with your body. So this is really important. So we're going to practice plank pose first. So you can see that it's really important to have the wrists and the elbows and the shoulders all in one line. And there's also a straight line from the ears, shoulders, hips, and heels. Okay? We're going to take 5 breath cycles here. Eyes are focused, so it's really, really important as an athlete that you learn to focus your eyes despite what's going on around you. If the eyes are focused, the mind is focused. Keep the abdominal wall pulled in. Keep pressing through the palms. Squeeze the thighs. Deep breaths in and out through the nose. So we're still practicing intention, that thought, that word that reinforces how you want to feel. And of course, we're still practicing our breath. Nice and smooth and even. And anytime you start to struggle with your breath, you know you want to modify and come out of the pose. Let's take 1 more breath cycle. And then release the knees. You're going to step your right foot up and through your hands. I'm going to slide off my socks here. So 1 foot up and through the hands. And so what's really important in the poses is that right now with alignment, knees aligned with ankle. Hips are sinking towards the floor, and then ears, shoulders, and hips are aligned. So, in other words, we don't want this. We want mountain pose with the upper body and alignment with the lower body. You can either relax your hands onto your front thigh, or if you want to, you can bring your arms right up by your ears so the fingertips are aligned with the shoulders. Still practicing breathing and still remembering our intention. Taking 1 more breath, and then hands down. Step that knee back. And then really easy, just switch sides. So switching and doing the same thing on the opposite leg. Step your foot forward. Again, take the time that the ankle and the knee are aligned. Lift your chest up. Bring your torso in alignment. And then bring your thoughts in alignment as well. So as we practice these poses, try not to let the mind drift around. Try to stay focused on your intention and on your breath. So inhales and exhales through the nose, arms are long by the ears, eyes are softly focused. Let's take 1 more breath, and then release the hands down. Step the knees back and together. Good. So that was working on intention, on breathing, and then alignment. So really important with alignment too is that we focus on the core. So let's swing the legs out and around in front of us and work a little bit on a pose called boat pose. So this is a core pose, but it's also a little bit of balance, and it starts to integrate us to the next basic principle, which is the edge. So the edge again is working on something that challenges you, but not going over your edge so that you sacrifice injury. Okay? So we don't want that, obviously. So you're going to shift your weight back, try to find your balance. And for a lot of us, just bringing the shins parallel to the floor is going to be challenging enough. Okay, so you want to really think about flattening the abdominal wall, drawing the pelvic floor up, and drawing the navel slightly back and up, like an elevator. So the belly's kind of lifting upwards towards the heart. And then if you can release underneath the thighs and just reach through the fingertips. So the breathing is still essential. The mind is focused. The intention is still there. What are you working on? You want to feel calm, you want to feel powerful, you want to feel relaxed and focused, whatever that word is. So if you can, start to straighten the legs enough. If you start to struggle at any time, remember you can always back out of it. Alignment and balance and all of these things working together in a challenging pose, in a challenging moment. Can you be calm? Can you relax? Can you stay focused? Okay, if you teeter-totter a little, it's all good. You get back up and you try again. Taking 1 more breath. And then relax and cross the legs. Okay, Sit up really tall. So alignment from the side, making sure that, again, the ears, the shoulders, and the hips are in one line. So our posture is good. Okay, so that's the principle of the edge. Really good pose to practice that with is a warrior pose. We're not going to have the time to do that today, but if you really get down into a warrior pose and you challenge yourself with that pose, or whatever pose really challenges you, that would be, the one that would be ideal to practice edge with. The next pose we're going to practice, same principle as the edge. We're going to try crow pose, and this is again engaging the bandhas, or the pelvic floor and the abdominal wall. And this is arm balance, so we're going to be kind of standing on our hands. This is challenging for some people. A lot of athletes have no problem doing it because you have a lot of upper body and core strength. So what I'm going to have you do is come into a low squat, just like this. So you're going to be sitting down really low. We're going to turn to the side. So in your low squat, your toes are actually turned out and your heels are down, and your hands are together in prayer right in front of your heart. Eyes need to be focused forward, really important. Okay, drishti we call it, or focal point, eyes forward. So what you're going to do is you're going to shift into your hands, shift your body weight into your hands. So your elbows are like a shelf for your knees, and your eyes are focused forward. Little by little, your toes are going to get lighter and lighter and lighter. Eyes focused forward, breathing essential, and then when you're ready, the toes will float up and come together to touch. If you've got that, then lift the heels up higher to the tailbone. Keep your eyes focused forward. Maintain your intention and your breath. And so if you can work up to like 5 breath cycles with that, that would be great. Smooth, even, you didn't sacrifice anything, right? That's crow pose. Again, that's a great opportunity to practice the principle of the edge. Okay? And then lastly is shavasana. Lying in stillness, and really taking recovery. So what I want you to do is just go ahead and lie down onto your back. And so you'll lie down all the way flat on your back, and you're going to take your palms and turn them up towards the ceiling. Now, as you're lying down on your back, and I hope you're taking the time to actually try this, lie down onto your back, walk your shoulders slightly down from your ears and in towards the midline, or towards your spine. And that's just going to slightly lift and open your heart and keep space between your ears and your shoulders, which is a good thing because they tend to crunch up to the ears over time. So create a little space in your body. Okay? With your palms open, that is, as we say, you receive a gift with an open palm. So that's why we like to turn our palms up in shavasana. It's kind of nice. So palms are open. Come back to step 1, breathing, or that was step 2. Step 1 and step 2, intention and breathing. So while you lie in stillness, that's when all of these other poses that you did, if you're a full yoga practice, you did for half an hour, an hour and a half, all of those poses really integrate into your body on a cellular level, a very deep level, when you're lying in stillness. So after a really hard practice or a hard game day, when you sleep really good at night, that's because your body on a very deep level needs to kind of plug in and recharge. So just take an opportunity right now. Allow your body to be still. Deepen your breath. Feel the whole frame of your body just relax onto the floor beneath you. So there's no effort. It's actually complete surrender. So it's the balance of opposites. There's a time to be a warrior. There's a time to work hard and achieve and really focus on moving forward. And then there's the opposite of that. There's the time to be still, a time to surrender, and a time to recharge. So if you can stay there for a few minutes, that would be great. If you'd like to, you can go ahead and come back up to a seated position. And then we finish our yoga practice with hands at heart center, and we say namaste. And so when a yoga practice is new for you, this is a new word for you. Namaste is a greeting. It's an honoring. It means the light within me honors and acknowledges the same light that is within you. And as athletes, I think it's very important that we honor each other. Your opposing team member, the athlete that you're going up against, you honor that person
because that person, that other team, that gets you to rise up and be your best. So as awesome as it is when your team wins or you win, awesome. But you need that other team, you need that athlete that's opposite of you to make you rise up, to make all of this possible. So make sure that you're taking the time to honor. So with that in mind, I thank you and I say namaste. Until next time. And if you have any questions whatsoever, please email me at Karen@flexiblewarrior.com. I take your special requests, so if you have a YouTube video that you want, you've got hip issues, low back, shoulder, whatever it is, I'll take your requests. In addition to that, you can get full-length DVDs at flexiblewarrior.com. They're available through Coach Troy and spinnerwolves.com. So those are your full-length DVDs if you want them. Lots of YouTube videos available for free, and I hope to hear from you and get your requests. All right? Now go recharge your batteries, take a long Shavasana, and I hope to see you